Hi, Patrick here from GA Insights, and today we're going to show you how to get set up as quick as possible with the platform and to get reports to Slack, MS Teams or email from the websites that you wish to report on. So once you've logged in, and you can log in with any Google account which has got access to Google Analytics, you'll be brought through our onboarding process, in which case you can choose what websites or projects that you wish to connect to it. Here I've selected 3, you can tell that from the drop down on the top. Once you've completed your onboarding, you'll be dropped into here, which is our browse gallery. This is the easiest and most efficient way to get set up with reporting. We ask a series of questions, the most common questions that people ask depending on what type of business they are. For example, if you're in e-commerce, you might be interested in products. If you're running ads, you might be interested in how your ads are performing, or perhaps you're running a blog. We have this essential metrics, which is just the most common top level KPIs. And if I click on one of the cards here, we can see on the right hand side, it's going to allow me then to preview perhaps some of the reports that this is going to create. Now, like I said before, I've got 3 projects connected. So whenever I click this card and whenever I preview one of these reports, which we can do now, so now you can see that the report has loaded. You get a nice preview of what the report's going to look like. You can use the drop down to select a different property that you want to preview it to. And whenever you're happy, you just click create. And whenever you click create, what it's going to do is it's going to send to all the default channels set up for each individual web property. Now, if you want to, you can also go to manage data sources here, which I can just select. And what we have is we have our 3 web properties. These are going to go to various different places. We've got 2 Slack accounts connected and 1 MS Teams here. By default, if you went through the onboarding, you selected a Teams channel, it'll be sent to there. Otherwise, it'll be sent by default to your email. So feel free to come in here and update. For instance, I might take this Hey Production and change this to a Teams channel if I wanted to, testing general. And now whenever I create these reports, that's where it's going to be routed to. So back to browse, we've got all default channels. That's where all 3 of my web properties are going to send this report to. And whenever I click create, in the background then, what's going to happen is we're going to create 3 reports, a daily, a monthly, and a weekly report for each individual property. So 9 reports are created. And once this is done, we can go and take a look at what they look like. Okay, and if I want to inspect one of these, for instance, here we have one of the essential metrics for my business. It's being routed to an MS Teams channel and an email address at the same time. I can go down the granularity of one of these reports. So if I click on weekly here, for instance, what we're going to do is load in our report builder. Now, although as soon as you click on one of the cards and you press create, automatically we're going to start sending those reports, and they're curated reports. They've already got a lot of the metrics you'd want, a lot of the visualizations you'd want. You can just leave it there and you can be safe in the knowledge that your reporting needs are going to be met into Slack or Teams or email, however you want. Now, what we do see, however, is that some people wish to then go a little deeper. They wish to customize the reports to them. Maybe they want to add a segment, maybe they want to remove a tab and add in their own tab, and that's perfectly fine. Most people will run with the most basic reports, the out of the box, for a few days before they then decide to get in and to start modifying them. Of course, if you want to, you can go straight in and modify it, as I will demonstrate now. So we're in our report builder, and here, this is how the report is going to be rendered within Slack. Within Teams, it's a very similar experience. You have a top row here of different tabs, and as you click the tabs, we load in the data below it. And this is exactly what will happen on Teams. It's exactly what will happen on Slack as well. Here you can see we've got no ad spend, but we do have campaigns running. We can see what transaction revenue we're pulling through that, what different types of users. If we're running ads, we can go into the ads campaign. With SEO, we can have a look at perhaps some keyword trends. And so as you click them, they'll load in sequentially. Now, let's just say I want to completely remove this advertising because I'm not running ads at the moment. I can go into edit tabs, for instance, and remove that tab. There we go. Add in a new one, however, and we'll call this one social. And whenever I click social up at the top here, we can see we've got no metrics yet for this tab. So if I click add metrics, what happens on the right hand side is we have a library of metrics to choose from, and they're categorized. So what we're doing is we're pulling in all of the goals, all of the events, we're pulling in segments, custom events, custom dimensions. You can go really deep with this if you want to. Now in terms of technical, I might go into here, or performance, and I could say, for instance, pull up my average load time. Now if I click that, it's going to preview it into the tab, so I can see what it's rendered out as. And as you can see here, we're rendering in the average page load time in comparison for the past week compared to the week before. Now, I might not be happy with that, in which case I could delete it. I could add in a different one. Let's go for most popular. What are the most popular pages for my new users? There's literally hundreds of these, so feel free to have a poke around. We support Google Search Console. We also support Google Ads as well. If you're running ads, it'll automatically appear up here as well. And let's load that in. Okay, we have our most popular pages. Now let's run a comparison to the week before. So here we're running a week compared to the previous week, and now you can see we've got some visualizations about how this has been trending. We're doing better than last week. That week was Thanksgiving, so the traffic was a little lower. And that's as expected. So anytime that you click a metric here on the left, you can see that that metric is then customizable on the right hand side. You can add columns, you can remove columns, you could add in segments if you want. We're pulling all of those in, or you can change the time dimensions. If any time that you wish to change all of the time dimensions at the same time, we have a little button up here at the top, so you could change it so that we want the last 2 weeks in comparison to the previous month. Now, all of the metrics that are applicable to this is now updated, so you can click through the reports and you can see how that's been updated. Now once you're happy with it, you've customized it, maybe you've added in Google Search Console and Google Ads, and you've made this report your own, the next step is to click Schedule on the right hand side. Now Schedule here, if I want to, I could go and update the channel about where this is going to go to. I can even update the title to a custom title. And say, in fact, I don't want it delivered at 9, I want it delivered at 7 instead. I have the option to preview, in which case then this will be routed into Teams, or perhaps into Slack as well. I can save as draft, meaning that it'll be saved to my account, but it won't be sent and scheduled yet. Or if I'm happy with it, and the next Monday at 7 AM I want this to be sent, save and schedule, we'll then save it to the dashboard, in which case we can go back here, and we can see that it's been updated. So that's a brief crash course into reporting, going a little bit deeper into the customization. And if you do want any help while you're setting these up, we're always available in the live chat. Just drop us a message. Thank you.